Here are some of the recent small cent coins sold by Heritage at their signature auctions. We'll kick things off with a relatively modern coin for a list like this, a 1997 Memorial Cent. But this is no ordinary 90s Lincoln penny, although it's not exactly a rare variety or era coin either. So the only thing that makes this coin stand out is its exceptional grade. As one of only 4 coins reported by PCGS and NGC to be graded at the MS69 red level, this piece stands as one of the finest known for the issue, and by auction's close it has sold for no less than $4,440. The 1945 cent, when found in a red color, has a tendency, at least more so than other dates, to be streaky or show other signs of discoloration. And while this example is not entirely free from that seeming curse, it is largely uniform in its bright orangey red glow. Where it truly shines, though, is its grade of MS67 plus red from PCGS. In combination, these factors saw it attain a closing price at auction of $4,800 by final call. The 1963D Lincoln penny is another issue that is not conventionally considered to be rare at all. In fact, it saw a mintage of over 1.7 billion coins, and that's a billion with a B. But all the same, high-level gem grades are seldomly seen. Many have suffered from heavy bag marks and other signs of wear, making this MS67 red coin tied for one of the finest known at PCGS, albeit tied with one other coin. It was sufficient to see a closing price at auction of $6,300. The 1912 cent is known to be a very well-struck cent, and certainly the coin seen here is exemplary of that fact, with every detail of Lincoln's design perfectly rendered, exactly as Victor D. Brenner must have envisioned it. And much the same can then also be said of the coin's reverse design as well. With brilliant red original mint luster, the coin achieved a grade of MS67 red from PCGS, and a closing price at auction of no less than $6,600. Usually, there really isn't too much to be said for the 1895 Indian head cent, as it is a fairly common date. Even in mint state grades, it's not that uncommon, though typically what you would see is a coin with brown or perhaps red-brown coloring. Seeing a fully red gem is more uncommon, making this specimen stand out from the crowd, so to speak. With its coppery sheen, orange peel surfaces that catch the light, and exceptional grade of MS67 from PCGS, it secured a price of $9,300 at auction. Matte-proof cent coins made a fair showing for themselves at this particular auction, not the least of which was this 1911 matte-proof cent, tied for the finest known at PCGS and a pedigree from the Bender collection. In 1911, these coins were included in a minor proof set along with the Liberty Head nickel for the grand total of 8 cents, and it was also included in a silver proof set with a cost of $2.50 at the time. This coin, graded as PCGS Proof 66 Red, was sold at auction for $16,800. For the first few years of its life, the Indian head cent was struck not from the familiar bronze composition, but instead from a copper-nickel alloy. This 1861 proof example is one of such coins, though reportedly it had an original mintage of 1,000 coins. It is likely that even fewer than those coins may have been distributed, as evidently only 134 coins were sold by April of 1861, and typically sales dwindled later in the year, making the survival of this piece even more astounding by comparison. Graded by NGC as Proof 66 Cameo, it sold for $18,000 by auction's close. 1915 saw the second to last year of production for the matte-proof coins, with the gold coins already ceasing production in this year, and the rest of the denominations like the penny following suit in 1916. This coin is a veritable picture-perfect textbook example of what this issue should look like, with a razor-sharp strike and near-flawless state of preservation, all from a mintage no greater than 1,150 coins. This coin survives in a grade of Proof 66 Plus Red from PCGS, and managed to attain a closing price at auction of $24,000. This coin is the very definition of a conditional rarity. The 1907 Indian head cent had a massive mintage of 108 million coins, a record high for this particular series. Even red coins are obtainable for not all that much money today, but gem levels, MS66 and above, the population numbers drop precipitously. This superb gem example at a grade of MS67 Red from PCGS is consequently assured a position in only the finest collections of small cent coins, reflected in its closing price at auction of $24,000. The average 1910 matte-proof Lincoln cent that you will see is either brown or red-brown in color. When you do find a red designated coin, the average grade is Proof 65. Just to give you an idea of truly how unlikely it is to find a 1910 matte-proof cent in a grade of Proof 67 Plus Red, a top-level survivor from an original mintage of 4,083 coins. Although despite its superb technical grade and amazing eye appeal, the coin is not without its faults, with some minor blemishes around the central devices, although to paraphrase Yoda, when over 100 years old you reach, look as good you will not. It sold for $28,800 when all was said and done. Ordinary 1902 Indian head cents are not really that special. Proof coins from this issue are a very different story, however, and add to that red color and a cameo designation, and you might as well be looking for an actual unit. And yet, here it is. A coin graded as Proof 67 Plus Red Cameo by PCGS, a grade certified by both CAC and CMQ, making this piece the sole finest example of the issue known to exist. And at auction, it attained the closing price of $40,800. But one of the highlights of this auction, and definitely the most noteworthy penny featured, is the 1943 bronze cent, struck on the wrong planchet by mistake in a year that the penny was to be struck exclusively on zinc-coated steel planchets instead. A coin that has managed to do what precious few have done before: transcend the purely numismatic and enter a more of a mainstream awareness. From absurdly fanciful storylines in movies and television to entirely unfounded but widely spread rumors that Henry Ford would give a brand new car to anyone who would find one. The coin is, simply put, a superstar, and is treated accordingly whenever an example appears at auction. This example, one of the fewer than 24 known from the Philadelphia Mint, was sold at auction, graded by PCGS as AU55, for the sum of $312,000. Subscribe to WNN and feel free to watch another video about amazing Lincoln pennies right here. next. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.